Hey everyone, and welcome to the Constant Malice podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Constipated Men podcast. I'm constipated. He's men. And today, no, we're not talking about constipation or men. Those are for other
You
episodes.
stole my bit. If both of us just say words that kind of make sense and have CM, we're gonna run out.
Shit, you're right. I gotta leave you to doing that, right?
Yeah. No,
I just
can't
took
say-
away a possible, you could have been on episode 85 just saying constipated men and would have been like, oh no, he got it wrong again. Oh no. No, get fucked.
I should reuse constipated men sometime far in the future just to see if you remember this moment.
We'll see.
Hey, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're deviating a little bit from our our normal topic-to-topic discussion, and today we're actually taking a quiz online. And you wanted to take this quiz with me. You brought it up. What is it about?
Okay, so some of my favorite streamers had a guest on, and the guest walked them through this quiz, and it's a street epistemology quiz about how you know what you know, and just trying to make sure like you're internally logical with why you have what beliefs you do.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, epistemology is the study of knowledge, and a street is what you walk or drive down.
You know, a lot of people would think epistemology stands for something else. I'm gonna be real.
What would they think epistemology stands for?
Okay, I'm looking at the word right now, and I could say, obviously, the obvious is piss, but also Epstein.
Epsteinomology.
I can see how you could get that mixed up for a second. It'd be funny, I think. Yeah, moving on. So, do you want to start with the first question?
Yeah, sure. We'll just alternate who reads them off.
Do you think we should just... Well, you already kind of explained the definition of, what the quiz is meant to be. Do you want to read anything on this page? How do we know what we know?
Yeah. For those who want to tag along, we're on Street Epistemology Survey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read out the URL. That's too much.
We'll link it. We
will link it in the show notes. So, question 1. A statement is true when it corresponds to reality. I guess these aren't really questions. These are statements that you are to agree or disagree with based on a scale of 1 to 5.
They're a question, but
So,
you know, not A, B, or C. They're not looking for a specific response.
They want to see the scale of how much you agree with a simple statement. We'll say whether or not we strongly agree or strongly disagree with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or anything in between, neutral is an answer you can give.
Yeah. Everyone has a gray area to some questions. So, question 1, or statement 1. A statement is true when it corresponds to reality.
All right. So, I gotta ask, what's your opinion on that?
Statement is true when it corresponds to reality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're just stating something with it doesn't necessarily say a statement without fact backing it up. If it's corresponding to reality.
No, it's saying basically something is truthful when it corresponds to reality. So, for instance, your computer's turned on.
Mm-hmm.
That's only a true statement when your computer's turned on.
I mean,
the sky is blue is only a true statement when the sky is blue. A statement is true when it corresponds to reality.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I'm not going to look at my screen that's currently on right now and say, oh, well, it could potentially be off.
Right, but I guess to play devil's advocate, you could say a lot of things about, for instance, you could have a statement that's technically true but doesn't reflect things at the moment. Might be how some people disagree with that.
Yeah, makes sense. But I'm going to just strongly agree with that one. A statement is true when it corresponds to reality. So.
I did the same. I think you're supposed to. But there are a lot of further questions about, what's true and not and how that thing works. Mm-hmm. So, I personally think most people probably strongly agree that you can only be true when you're corresponding to reality.
Yeah. Number 2, we all share the same reality and only interpret it differently. This kind of ties into, remember last episode where we were talking about simulation theory and stuff?
Yeah, it's hard to for sure know if other people even exist, but I think if I'm following most evidence, I'd agree very strongly with that.
I would also agree very strongly. I mean, it's certainly fun to give thought to the idea, but again, there's no proof to...
What do you think about the idea that some people have, like, their truth?
Well, their truth can be as true as they want. It's only going to really affect them.
Not necessarily. So, say you say something, and someone's offended by it. You're pretty sure you didn't say something offensive. They're pretty sure you did. We all share the same reality and only interpret it differently, but they're saying that their truth overrides yours.
That's their interpretation. That's not their reality.
Right, but they would say it is their reality.
I'm going to strongly agree with this one.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, moving on.
All right.
Truth depends on the opinions and beliefs of people.
Right, so if the sky was actually black and everyone went around saying it's blue, would the sky be black or blue?
I mean, it would... If you're seeing it as it is, it's going to be that for you. If someone says what you see as a circle is a square, everyone else says it, you're seeing it as a circle, that's true to you that it is a circle. It's not true to you that it is a square. So
how do you strongly agree with one if you believe that some people can interpret circles and squares as something different than what they factually are? The idea that we all share the same reality means that there's like an objective truth that doesn't depend on what someone's seeing.
This discussion is just bringing the gears in my head to a halt. It's like, oh, bruh.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to take this quiz because it's funny, I think.
There's a lot of questions. I might be like catatonic by the time we get to the 24th. I'm gonna put it in the gray area.
You're gonna put it in the gray area.
Yeah.
You don't have a for sure on that?
Not a for sure, because the thing is, your observatory abilities of truth. Well, it depends on what you're applying truth to. If it's like with things in reality, and you perceive them in a way that other people don't,
right? But so
it's going to be true to you, but it's not going to be true to them.
Right, but number one said a statement is true when it corresponds to reality. So how truth is defined in this question is defined by how you answered the first question.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense.
Personally, I answered strongly disagree, because even if we're talking about an opinion, the truth is only reflective of what that person's opinion is, not what's objectively true. So you can have an opinion about something, and objectively speaking, that's your opinion, but the truth doesn't really depend on anything else. I don't know if I phrased that correctly. Basically, what I'm saying is the only time the truth isn't reflective of what is specifically in reality is when you're talking about what someone's truthful opinion is. And even then, that's only one person, so the reality of what that one person thinks is that opinion or belief, you know?
Yeah. Number 4. People create words and define their meaning. Well, that one I'm just going to straight up strongly agree with, because, I mean, we create... Like, okay, have you ever looked at, like, a rock?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that rock, it'd be looking rocky and stuff. You think that rock would be named Dwayne. But aside from it being named Dwayne, you would also think that it's a rock, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't think of it as anything else. You don't look at a rock and say, that is a cool pencil, or that is a cool, I don't know, hamburger.
I guess the alternative to this is things just come with name tags.
Yeah, I mean, people create words and define their meanings.
Right.
Like, there's a word to everything. Someone had to come up with that word. People use that word.
So you don't think language came, say, before objects? You think objects came before language and we just named things?
I mean, words are only used to, like, identify and describe things. They don't just make the thing, you know.
Fair enough.
Things existed before words.
That's not a very religious mindset.
So yeah, I'm going to strongly agree with that one. How about you?
Oh, yeah, strong agree, for sure.
Good. Number 5. A statement is true if everyone agrees. I'm going to strongly disagree.
Really? Okay. My answer's neutral.
Okay, well, you explain.
If everyone agrees this movie's bad, and we're not talking most people, we're talking everyone, literally everyone. If everyone sees, say, a piece of art as bad, then that's true. When you're dealing with opinions of people, an opinionated statement can be true if everyone agrees, or disagrees for that matter.
What it takes is one person.
Right.
And the thing is...
But we're talking about literal everyone here. I'm remaining neutral, though, because I don't think, like, the masses ought to sway what truth is. I just know that certain things... that there's exceptions to that rule, so I have a hard time, for sure, disagreeing with that rule, you know?
All that rings through my head when I read this question is like Alex Jones going like, they're pulling the bag over your head. You're not seeing the truth. They're putting chemicals in the water and they're turning the frogs gay.
You know, those chemicals did actually make frogs into
exactly, but
hermaphrodites.
The people didn't want to believe it.
Stop talking.
So I'm going to strongly disagree with this, based off of that in my own personal opinion.
Based on
Alex Jones being based. Yeah, that's strongly disagree. Number 6. Strong belief, even without action, can change external reality.
So, that question...
I'm going to disagree with that one.
How strongly?
Strongly.
Strongly? You're not even, like, half-assed disagreeing with this? You're
no.
Full committed?
I've been fully committed on just about all of these so far.
Yeah. I'm also fully committed to disagreeing with that.
Like... what happens in your head is in your head. That does not in any way influence the outside. Well, you could say, oh, like electromagnetic waves and stuff like that through your brain.
Well, so a lot of people do believe in manifestation and, like, mindset and all that. And this is also kind of a religious question, right? Because, you know, if you're praying, that's strong belief, which, you know, a lot of people, you could almost say a majority of people, because the majority of the world is still religious.
Mm-hmm. This is a controversial question.
I guess so.
This is a sussy question.
It doesn't
guys.
sound like it'd be controversial, though, because it seems very
it
straightforward, you know?
It indirectly refers to religion when you start to think about it. But just looking at it, like, just first glance, it's like, this is a normal, not controversial question. Ignoring beliefs and, like, higher beings and stuff like that, just through the will of my mind... without taking any action with my body or, like, you know, my physical ability, there's no way to change reality. I can't just think something. Like, I can't think, cheeseburger and get cheeseburger. I can't just think, I don't know, I want a car and then just get car.
There are a lot of people that would disagree with that, though. Like, very successful people, too, not dumbasses on the internet.
Well, yeah, but those people have to take action to get those.
Right.
They can't just think car and then get car.
But they say that they got there by thinking, I'm going to be successful, and then they got there.
I mean, yeah, but that's kind of bending the question a bit. Like, yes, that's a mindset to have, but you still have to do things to get there.
But, you know, people that believe in, say, manifestation or religion say that you don't necessarily need action. Action is what gets you there, but even without action, the belief is affecting reality. But you and I both agree that there's no effect that any belief is having on reality.
Yes. Okay. So, we're kind of in agreement there, strongly disagreeing.
Yep. All right.
Cool.
Number 7, and this is how does belief work? The first segment was what is truth?
Yes. So, number 7, some beliefs should never be questioned. Strongly disagree.
Strongly
disagree.
Strongly disagree.
As humans, we should be curious of everything and question everything. Otherwise, we don't learn.
See, interestingly enough, I also agree with you that you should question everything, and everything should always constantly be questioned. But I actually strongly agree with this statement.
Like, how?
Because of question 1. A statement is true when it corresponds to reality. I don't think you should ever question that, except in a hypothetical like this.
This hurts my head. I'm focusing on this question to question. I strongly disagree with this.
You strongly disagree with it. I don't know. I think the truth reflects objective reality, and you shouldn't question that the truth is objective reality. I think there's a couple situations.
Is truth a belief?
I mean, yes, I suppose.
so it should never be questioned.
Right.
Can that be like the one exception? Because
Are there any other exceptions to that rule?
number 8.
Oh, come on. This is part of the fun. Are there any other exceptions to that rule?
No.
No?
Just straight up no.
Just straight up the truth.
What matters more than the truth? That's the question I want you to answer.
Life. Probably life matters more than truth.
Would you question life and how it works and everything else?
Well, yes, obviously.
Okay, but you want to question truth.
Correct. Objective truth, I don't think, should be questioned. But only if that truth is objective. Figuring out if it's objective enough, you could argue, is a kind of questioning, but I don't know. There are some things that are...
I guess that's the way I perceive it. Questioning the truthiness of the truth.
Yeah.
That's one thing, but questioning the truth itself when it's already been established that it's the truth.
It should. You should, because
That's
you
the
don't
thing.
ever fully know.
You don't ever fully know how true something is.
But again, this is a question of hypotheticals, right? So if you ever got to the truth, and you could be...
the truthiest truth.
You could be for sure that it was the truth. That
then
it was...
Then you wouldn't question it. And yet,
correct. And you shouldn't ever question it, because
but
you know for
here's
sure
the
it's the
reason why
truth.
I disagree.
But you'll never get there.
That's the thing. I'll never get there. I'm thinking about it from a realistic standpoint.
Right.
You can't get to the truthiest possible truth out there.
I think
I hate using that word, but it's like the most fun at the same time.
It's really funny. I think we figured out that I'm more idealistic and you're more realistic is where we came from with this.
Interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Interesting dynamic.
Because I care more about, like, extremes and hypotheticals, and you're like, in reality, I'm never going to ever bump into a belief that shouldn't be questioned, so I should always question things. Yeah. And I'm like, you should always question everything, but if, for sure, we knew something, and there was no way to disprove it, and we for sure 100% knew that it was the truth, there's no reason to question it.
And yet, even then, I would feel like, as humans, we should question it because that is our nature.
I don't think we
always
should...
learn.
Yeah, for sure. A lot can be learned from questioning something that's objectively true, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, flat earthers are a great example of that. Because you learn a lot about, begins with a G, geography? You learn a lot about geography if you ever have a discussion with a flat earther. Because you're like, I know the world's round, and I can prove it, because, the moon wouldn't work this way from this continent or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot to be learned about about questioning something that's objectively true, but, I think if we ever came across exactly the truth, Plato's form of the truth, there's no reason to question it.
Mm-hmm. Number 8. Someone can be certain something is true, yet still be mistaken. Strongly agree.
Strongly agree. Strongly agree.
Why do you strongly agree?
Well, I don't want to bring religion back into it, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that I've been certain that I know some things and been proven wrong. So I know that no matter how much you believe a statement, it can be wrong.
Just to simply make sure I don't spend too much time on this one, simply put, no one's perfect. No one knows that everything is true. Not even one person knows for a fact that something is 100% true. This kind of ties into the whole truth debacle we just had in the last question.
Mm-hmm.
So, someone can be disproven. That's just that. Number 9. We should be satisfied with a test that can only confirm our claim. What do you think?
I am in the strong disagree camp.
Yeah, I strongly disagree. You should be satisfied with the result regardless.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how science works.
Mm-hmm. Looking at this question, this is just kind of like, okay, when you get a test back, like in school, and you get like a D or whatever, and you look at all the missed questions you're like, you're like, oh, well, it's a D, I passed. That's all right. Well, that's if you get like an A minus, say, that's pretty good, but there's always improvement to be had, right?
So people with beliefs that exist outside of objective reality probably would answer this question differently. So like flat earth, religion, particular conspiracy theorists, there are a bunch of things that, there's been tests. Like, for instance, we know we landed on the moon.
Yes.
But, people are only going to be satisfied, people that don't believe in the moon landing, I should say, are only ever going to be satisfied if a test ever happens that proved we didn't. They're never going to be satisfied with all the, evidence and tests that prove that we did.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. Mine was kind of ass. Yeah, basically this question, simplifying it down, it's like taking both sides into consideration. Like, if there's an argument between two individuals and without considering, like, the evidence or whatever, you strongly lean towards one individual. Like, let's say it's, I don't know, for some random reason, Walter White is arguing with Obama.
I am so here for this hypothetical. Okay. Hit me with it. What are Walter White and Obama gonna debate?
They're arguing whether Cheeto Puffs or Cheeto Crunchies are better. And, let's say Walter White is supporting them Puffy Boys. Okay. So if you like Walter White or Puffy Boys, regardless of what Obama has to provide with his Crunchy Boys, you're going to support Walter White because you like one of those. It satisfies you.
Walter White satisfies you?
Yeah. Or the Crunchy Boys. Sorry, no, the Puffy Boys.
Continue.
It works the other way around. If Obama is talking about his Crunchy Boys, and you like either the Crunchy Boys or Obama, you're not going to consider the evidence that Walter White has to support Puffy Cheetos. You're just going to be like, okay, it's Obama, or okay, it's Crunchy Cheetos. I'm satisfied. That side's correct.
And so, like, if we tested and could figure out, like, objectively which one was best, you would only be satisfied with the results of that test if your side's winning.
Exactly.
Okay. I think my favorite example for a question like this is, let's say I held the strong belief that every time you flip a coin, it always comes up heads. A strong belief. So every time we tested that, I would just disregard all the times it comes up tails. Be like, that one didn't count. It always comes up
that
heads.
That one didn't count. You're playing rock, paper, scissors. You lose. You're like, oh, no, that one doesn't count. Let's go again. 5 out of 7? 13 out of 1,784?
It's okay. Rock always wins. I know this.
Rock always wins because I'm the one playing it. Duh. So, number 9... We should be satisfied with a test that can only confirm our claim. I know. I just read that one. I'm reading it over again.
Okay.
For our answer.
Fair enough. I thought you were moving on and
you're moving on to the question we just answered.
Yes.
Your answer? Strongly disagree.
Yeah, strongly disagree. I'm in the disagreement camp.
Number 10. If all members of society share a belief, they are justified to hold that belief. So what did you put down?
What did you put down?
I want your input first.
Okay.
I have my own. I just haven't written it down yet.
You're sure you're
I'm
not... Are you peeking? Are you trying to get the right answer?
There's no right answer.
There is. Well, there's the answer we literally write down.
Someone out there probably has the exact opposite answers you do.
Probably.
If you're listening, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not, but...
Someone out here disagreeing with a statement is true when it corresponds to reality.
They do be. They be tripping balls.
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to strongly disagree with number 10 here.
Okay. Why?
Well, let's say there's a small tribe of humans. All right. Nondescript, non-ethnic, just humans. All right? And it is their belief that nothing exists off this island they live on. There is no justification for that belief. What if someone shows up from off the island and they're like, nope, doesn't exist? There's no... I don't believe a group of people saying something makes it right. And I don't think there's any justification for believing something just because a group of people believe it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what that belief is. That belief could be all humans deserve kindness. And they're not necessarily justified to hold that belief by virtue of being a society that, all have it. Mm-hmm. It's a pleasant belief to have, but I don't think it's justified necessarily.
I feel like this kind of ties into truth because if people believe in a truth, they will never try to break the boundaries of that truth and find things outside of it. So the situation you just described, those people breaking that belief would be like, hey, there's probably something outside of this island, and they build a boat and sail off and try to find new land, you know.
Right, but you could argue that that belief is saving lives, because think of how many people die before they find a new island.
I mean, there's no reward without risk. I mean, yeah, we put our lives at risk every day. You put your life at risk to go drive to work.
Yeah, I think that's actually true. Isn't it the most dangerous thing you do every day is drive?
Yeah, that's one of the highest, like, death statistics out there.
One of the highest death?
That is one of the highest death statistics ever.
Yeah, okay.
One of the highest deaths ever.
Fair enough. So are we in agreement here, or did you put a different answer down?
We're in agreement. I just haven't put a number down.
Okay, fair enough.
I just thought I'd give my own take. Yeah. Okay, number 11. Believing something that is false feels just like believing something that is true. We're going to take a moment to write our things down.
All right. What you got?
I'm not looking at yours. I'm pondering the question right now.
All right.
You talk about yours while I don't tell what your belief is. Well, I'm kind of realizing I can't have you talk about what you think about
it might
the
influence
question.
your answer.
Yeah.
Trevor just now realizing
Yeah.
how the test works. We're like almost halfway through
Huh. This is a test, and we can't cheat off of each other.
We
Damn.
can't. You'll get the right answers if you look at me.
Because your answers are 100% right.
I mean, a statement's only true when it corresponds to reality, so my answers are me attempting to correspond to reality as much as possible.
I thought you were meant to be an idealist guy and not a reality guy.
Well,
Didn't you say that earlier?
Ideal reality.
Mr. Knowledge Man.
Ideal reality, I guess, is a good way to put it.
Not realistic reality.
Not realistic reality is boring to philosophize about. I like ideal reality better because it works in hard numbers, not lots of decimals and the things we can't account for.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Believing something that is false feels just like believing something that is true.
Yep.
Up until now, it's been like, okay, reading the question over, you know, I can just figure out what my answer is there. It's like it's strong in one direction or strong in the other, with the one exception being number 3. This one's kind of got me stuck.
Do you want me to go over my answer and see if it brings you to yours, or do you think that'll influence you too much?
I think you should do your answer.
Okay, so I'm soft agreeing. Not strong agreeing, just soft agreeing. Because, you know, I've known a couple people to, like, believe in, say, a conspiracy theory, and, like, you can kind of tell part of them knows that it's not true, but they enjoy believing it, so they're going to continue to do so. So I think that, you know, innately, humans have kind of an inclination towards the truth. But for the most part, if someone believes something, they believe it's true. And I think that, you know, on an emotional level, it registers the same way that believing something to be true does. Mm-hmm. I just think that there are certain beliefs people hold for the fun of it. Maybe because they're trolling, maybe because, you know, they don't have a lot of meaning in their life and they just like to kind of rebel against whatever the norm is, even if the norm's correct in this instance. You know, I think humans have a strong inclination towards the truth, so they can probably register when they know for sure something that they believe is not, you know, correct. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, yeah, it feels the same.
All right, here we go. This is where you and I are going to disagree. Strong disagree on this for me.
You strong disagree?
Strong disagree.
Okay.
Let me explain. When you're believing in something that... Okay, first off, the question already establishes that the person, like, answering this, say they're believing in something false, they know it's false.
No. They're believing in something that is false. They don't know that it's false.
Well, if that's the case, it would put me in a neutral zone.
A neutral zone? Not even an agree zone?
Because if they already know it's false, they're trolling.
Well, not necessarily.
They're trolling, or they're doing it for fun, or they're doing it to be rebellious, but at the end of the day, they're not believing it to...
Right, but they don't know that it's false for sure. Like, you know, have you ever misheard a statistic and thought that it was the opposite? Or what have you? Like, for a long time, Hollywood was like, you're only using 10% of your brain. And we know that that's not true, but believing it felt just as much as a fact as knowing that it's not true. You know, humans have a strong inclination to discover the truth is the only reason I'm not hard agreeing.
I'm gonna leave that neutral because, like, the second you find out something that is false, you're instantly going to reject that idea.
Right, but you don't know that it's false when you find the idea that's false, right?
I guess so, yeah. I'm gonna still leave it neutral.
Fair enough. Neat.
Okay.
We have differing opinions on belief.
Number 12. Feelings are a reliable way to discover truth. I think we're gonna agree on this one.
You think so?
Disagree.
Hard disagree, yeah.
Disagree. Like,
the thing that kills it for me is reliable.
your emotions are the least reliable thing in existence.
Right, but, if the statement was just, feelings are a way to discover the truth, I think I would agree. They are a way to discover the truth.
They're not reliable.
Right, but,
think
of how many chemists were just curious what would happen when they mixed this with this and they discovered new elements back in the day,
It's also how people, like, blew up, died,
curiosity,
gave themselves cancer.
Curiosity is a feeling, though.
Curiosity also killed the cat.
And curiosity is a way to discover the truth. It's not asking, is it dangerous? It's asking if you can find the truth that way.
It can't be reliable if you're dead.
I mean, it can be. People die in pursuit of knowledge all the time. Rip to those people. I
Rip those
respect
homies. Yeah, salute.
We just edit in saps playing right now.
Okay. We're going to move on to the next segment. When should we believe? Starting with number 13.
All right.
Believing something without evidence is admirable. No.
What? Hold on. What? It's not?
Believing something without evidence is admirable. No. Unless you're bringing new evidence to the table.
Okay. I actually, yes.
Okay, explain your side.
So personally, I'm too cynical for religion. That's why I identify myself as an atheist. But I always kind of admire people on the more religious side of the spectrum. There's something inherently admirable about seeing everything that exists, seeing very little evidence or no evidence for something, and deciding to stick it out and sort of, almost rebel against what's true, just to say, like, you know what, there's a God, for sure. Or, you know what, people that are like, there's magic, or there's all kinds of things that, like, I admire the amount of belief they're putting into something. That's admirable. I don't think it should be replicated, but I can admire the attitude.
So you're essentially saying the willpower is admirable.
The willpower.
I guess there's that. I'll put it into the disagree territory because that part's admirable, but just the whole idea of believing something without evidence, like the idea behind the emotion that's driving it is admirable. Their will is admirable.
The belief is not.
The belief isn't, because you
Okay.
don't have anything to, like, supply that argument. It's one thing to be like, well, hey, you're proud of it. You're certain with it. There's something to see there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But past that, it's like, what do you have to offer me? How are you going to convince me? They're like, because I said so.
I guess I respect and admire the sheer gall of someone who rejects reality.
Basically, I'm gonna admire how fat your nuts are with bringing something to the table with no evidence to back it up.
Correct. That is.
I would be like, nice nuts. Anyways, you're wrong. Number 14. Without an explanation for something, any answer is better than no answer.
What are your thoughts?
Without an explanation for something, any answer is better than no answer. I would strongly agree.
Really?
Yeah,
We are on opposite ends of the spectrum, unironically.
really.
Really. With one exception to this rule being, like, in a job interview. Why have you been unemployed for the last 2 years? My mom died. Hit him with that. Or, whatever. Just hit him with some excuse. Any excuse. But other than when you're being job interviewed, I'm actually 100% in disagreement with the sentiment behind this question.
Why is that?
Well, so...
I mean, I get the job thing, but that doesn't necessarily...
Okay.
That's the exception. That's not just how you feel.
So, let's say, in every major town, once you got above 100 people in the population, a bubble of water would spontaneously float in the center of that settlement.
This sounds like that Walter White Obama lore already.
Just listen, okay? This bubble of water floats whenever there's 100 or more people living in a space.
Uh-huh.
Okay? We don't know what causes it. We don't know why. People answer, it's the water sprites trying to give us something to drink. Okay?
Okay.
That throws people off pursuit of why the bubble of water is showing up. I think you need an explanation for something to adequately provide an answer. The answer serves no purpose if it's not explaining something.
Yeah, I guess you kind of got me convinced.
Did I just flip your entire opinion? What was your thought process?
The thing is, there's always educated guessing. The problem is, in this hypothetical, there's no explanation to be had.
You can't. This is supposed to like not support an educated guess. I think is the idea behind it.
Okay. Well, if there's like no way for me to get any information at all and blindly guess, like I can't construct anything, I could just.
You've got no explanation. Just any answer is better than no answer. And I personally think that because people get like emotionally attached to answers.
Well, the thing is, okay, if we're in your like little like bubble,
the bubble zone.
Bubble zone, yeah. If I'm like confronting that, I would like draw my own conclusions, observe things, and try to come up with the best answer that I can.
See, you're giving yourself a lot of credit though, because you're raised your whole life thinking gravity works the way it does, right?
Yes.
But gravity is a fact. If you were raised your whole life thinking that there are water fairies, and you see the bubble rise up every time 100 or more people are in a room, you think, damn, water fairies. The same way you think, damn, gravity when you see something fall. You don't think, I'm going to discover what's actually making this bubble of water. Like, I went my entire life without questioning how gravity works. And, I think I'm better for it because the people I know that have questioned gravity are flat earthers and shit. But
yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't know. I just feel like it's best to have people with opposing answers to try and come to a better answer.
I would agree
Discussion
to that.
is good.
But any answer, just throwing any answer out when you don't have any way to explain something, I think is a way to lead to people getting attached to the wrong answer.
I think if that first half of the question was there, I would stick with my my normal answer of like strongly agreeing.
Oh, so you'd agree that any answer is better than no answer.
Yes.
I think I'd agree to that. Yeah.
But without an explanation, I'm gonna like soft disagree.
Okay.
Because at least there's discussion to be had if you throw an answer out. But like, how constructive can you be without an explanation, right? Okay. Number 15. It is okay to accept something as true because it is comforting. Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not. If I could put
not.
a 6, like ultimate disagree, I would, but strongly disagree.
I am also putting a 6, but I do want to ask. What about an afterlife?
Okay. Wow. You really jumped into this one.
Fucking balls deep. Let's go. What about an afterlife?
What about an afterlife? Like,
we've got no evidence for it. We don't know for sure if it's a thing. We don't know for sure if it's not. Is it okay to think that you're gonna go somewhere when you die just because the thought is nice?
This discussion we already had. I believe it was episode 1.
We kind of brushed on this in episode 1, yeah.
See, the thing is, we're mortal beings. We only have the consciousness that fits within our skull.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we don't have any proof of that. I'm okay with just not pondering it in the first place. It's almost like, it's kind of like how, this is not something a mortal should be concerned with. Like, that's some God of War shit that would be said in a God of War game. But, to be honest, it's kind of applicable. Most people, when most people think about it and give it, like, deep, genuine thought.
Yeah?
It makes them depressed. It makes them sad. A lot of people fall into, like, deep depressive moods because of that kind of thing. It's better to just not think about it in the first place. Or if you do, think about it from... Don't try and prove that it's real, but more so explore it and the possibilities of it rather than trying to be heart set on it being something or nothing at all.
So if you think that you shouldn't consider it, how did you answer number 7 again? Some beliefs should never be questioned. If you're hard set on not questioning whether or not there's an afterlife, then how do you respond to how you answered number 7 there, buddy? Did you find a question you don't want to know the answer to?
It's more like I don't mind not knowing the answer to it.
Okay.
I could pursue it. That's the thing. I could pursue it. However, there's concerns like my own mental health, and there's better things to think of. Like, yes, there's the other answers that we've given, like, oh, you should pursue it, all that. But at the end of the day, it's also your choice.
Once again, we found that you're a realist. Because, like, I consider things like this all the time.
How do you not go insane?
Lots of caffeine.
Lots of caffeine.
And I do have sleep issues.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Makes sense. Average idealist.
Wounds. Straight to the heart. Wait, straight to the idea of my heart?
Straight to the idea. It's not real. You're not a realist.
Well, you're not literally injuring my heart.
Ideally.
You're injuring the idea of my heart. As like a vessel that emotions are contained. You're injuring that.
Shut up.
Okay, so number 16. You want to read it?
Yeah. I think I put down the wrong... Did I skip one?
You might have.
On my sheet? Oh, well, I'm not going to worry about it right now. We're on 16?
Yep.
I give all claims the benefit of the doubt when I first encounter them. I strongly agree.
I put a -1 because we put a 6 for the other one. If I could stronger agree than stronger agree, I would. Yeah, not only should you give all claims the benefit of the doubt when you first encounter them, you should give them more than that. You should be as charitable as possible when you first encounter a belief.
Here, we're going to go back to the Walter White and Obama Cheeto discussion, okay?
Okay, Obama Cheeto. I'm here for it.
Obama's talking about crunchy. Walter White's talking about puffy Cheetos. You have to consider both sides equally. If Obama says, well, they're better because they're crunchy and they have more flavor per, like... I don't know, millimeter or whatever, you have to give Walter White the benefit of the doubt that the airy inside of the Cheeto Puff and the overall feel of the chew is also very valid. You have to consider both sides of the Cheeto spectrum.
I like this debate because Obama's just like, you see, Mr. Walter White.
You see, they're crunchy.
It's all styrofoam. You're just eating cheese covered styrofoam.
And then Walter White is, I am the one who eats puff or whatever. I don't know.
I am the danger.
He breaks the bat or whatever. I don't.
He's breaking someone named.
I watched
Bad.
like the first 2 seasons. He like breaks.
That's more than I've seen. I know Walter White exists by sheer virtue of being on the internet once.
He does break bad.
He breaks bad at the end of it?
We're not going to talk about that.
What season does he break bad?
We might talk about Breaking Bad later. Breaking Bad is a very good show, though. I'm sure everyone's understood that at this point.
What
though.
show's Obama from again?
Breaking Bad as well. Otherwise, like, how would they talk? They're in the same universe.
Obama's a character in Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad came out, what, 10 years ago?
I have no idea.
Obama was in office then.
You think so? You think Obama's in office during the events of Breaking Bad?
I think so. I don't entirely remember what year Breaking Bad both was released and was like set in, but
this is such a fun side tangent.
We're getting too carried away. Sorry. Obama and Walter White are arguing about Cheeto Puffs, and even though you might like one or the other, you really need to consider the other side.
Correct.
Okay, moving on. 17. Someone is justified in their beliefs until they are proven wrong. Strongly agree?
Nope. I strong disagree, actually.
Why?
Because you're approaching it the wrong way. The burden of proof is on the belief, not in disproving the belief. So, if I say pixies exist, you need to be like, where's the evidence? I'm not justified in believing pixies exist unless I have evidence. No. Like, my grandma's name is Pixie.
I guess it's, you know. Well, that's
so not... obviously she exists.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. now you're trolling. You're trolling.
Trolls, on the other hand, don't exist.
Okay, yeah, strongly disagree unless there's evidence. It doesn't say they bring evidence to the table, so I agree with you on that. I guess I'm just perceiving these questions wrong. I'm retarded.
I mean, it doesn't say that there's no evidence. It's saying that they're justified until they're proven wrong. So you can have some evidence. There's some evidence of a lot of things that are just
They could also have no evidence.
They could also have no evidence. In this hypothetical, you're just saying, hey, you know, you're justified in believing whatever you want until you're proven wrong. And that's the wrong way to approach things. That's the opposite of how science works. You come with the proof first and then the belief.
That's like justifying Obama is in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
When he's clearly not in a single shot of that show.
Obviously, you're justified in believing Obama's in Breaking Bad, right?
And then someone asks, oh, well... oh yeah, where's your evidence? And you're like, oh, he was in office.
Maybe when it was happening
during the events. Like,
maybe.
Shut the fuck up. So, yeah, I agree with you on this one.
All right,
strongly disagree. All right, 18. The most important criteria for my beliefs is that they match reality. Yeah, this is gonna be like.
So you're strong agree?
I strong agree. Okay. I super strong agree.
Interestingly enough, as the idealist, I also agree. It's fun and important, I think, to discuss hypotheticals.
At the end of the day, they're hypotheticals.
Yeah, the most important thing when evaluating whether or not you should believe something is this true? Is this accurate?
Mm-hmm. Is this real? Right?
Well, maybe. It goes back to simulation theory and a bunch of things.
Beep boop, beep boop. Moving on. This last segment is, when should we change our minds?
Whew.
This might be the toughest one. Number 19. I often investigate beliefs that do not match my own.
Okay, so this isn't talking hypothetically, Mr. Realist. You should be able to get this pretty good. This is talking about literally you. This last segment is, I think, all personal things. So the audience will get to know us better, and maybe I'll surprise you with an answer or two.
Okay, so do I often investigate beliefs that do not match my own? Honestly, people kind of do that every day. If you, let's say you're working a job, you're talking to someone, if they just disagree with you on something, it's already happened. The thing is...
Oh, shit. So you're saying that, like, you encounter beliefs that don't match your own?
Yeah, you
really
encounter
often.
them. You encounter
but how
them
often do you follow through on those?
Like, with discussion?
With discussion, with research, how often do you actually investigate a belief that's different from your own and don't just, like, steer clear of it because it's not something you believe?
I think it comes down to how much it interests me to delve into it. Like, if someone just has an opinion like, I like this food more than the other, I'm not going to care. They can have that opinion. I believe it might be something different, but that's also for me. They can believe what they want.
Okay.
It's whatever.
I guess this is, like, political, though, is a good way to look at this. I mean, it's not inherently political, but politics is, I think, the best example for this.
I don't like to get into politics. I'm going to be real. But
fair
that's
enough.
only because, okay, politics in this context is very good, but when you consider, like, actual social, like, what am I looking for? The bird. The bird is the word.
Bird is the word.
Social elements, things that might influence you negatively, like, no matter, like, some conversations end up getting really toxic, especially when it comes to politics. How deep do you want to dive into that?
I don't. I just want to know, like, so if you have a strongly held political belief and someone has a strongly held political belief that's the opposite, would you, in good faith, investigate the opposite belief to yours?
Only if it's kept to, like, if it gets toxic, no, but in the hypothetical that every situation that I get into where they're willing to argue fairly the same way as like an argument can be fine.
It doesn't say investigate necessarily with that person, just like a conflicting point of view comes up. Do you like maybe in your free time do research and make sure you're on the right? Okay, yeah,
absolutely.
Fair enough.
It's just when it comes to the social aspect that it gets an extra layer of, well, this is happening. Am I going to talk to this person for a long while? Are they going to be fair about it? Am I talking to a brick wall? Stuff like that.
There are a lot of brick walls when you talk about
there are
conflicting points of view, especially.
Yeah.
I put strongly agree because something I do in my free time is because I have a lot of very strongly held beliefs, and I really enjoy hearing the alternative point of view. That's part of why I have so much respect for people that believe things without any evidence.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll put a soft agree for that one, because, I mean, there's, like, honestly, there's situations, even with political things, that I'm not going to have a lot of interest in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Number 20. I am comfortable with saying, I don't know. So, what did you put? I've already got my answer down. So.
Rather than writing a number down, I just
wrote,
I don't know.
That's... Oh, there's an I, which also looks like a 1, so you strongly agree. Why is that, Tom?
I don't know.
Okay.
What did you put, and why?
I didn't put I don't know. I know. I missed a big opportunity. Well, I just said I know, but I don't.
You got there. You made it. I guess it's like when I don't know something for sure, I'm like for sure saying like, hey, I haven't done research into this in a minute, or hey, it's been a long time since I read about this, so it might be inaccurate.
Yeah.
But also just when someone asks a very leading question about something, I have no issue saying I don't know.
I put it in the gray area. I'm neutral on it because I'm fine with saying it in the moment, but depending on the subject, I will want to, re-educate myself and make sure, I'm not stupid. All right, 21. It is beneficial to find out when I am wrong about something. Yeah, I think we're both going to come to the same answer. Strong agree?
Oh, yeah. Very
Strong
much so. I guess I gotta ask, it says beneficial. Are you happy, sad, neutral, angry when you find out you're wrong about something?
Well, unless you're being ignorant, you're learning from it.
Yeah, but a lot of people get really angry. Like, really, really angry when they find out that they're wrong about something.
That's called copium. That's the definition of cope.
Fair
Like,
enough.
if they are legitimately proven wrong. It's one thing if it's like, the opposing statement is, not entirely true either. Then, yeah, maybe not so much copium. But if you're, like, facing a truth that's just been literally proven true, there's so much evidence to it, that's copium.
Fair enough.
You're being ignorant.
I guess it's different when you're talking about opinions, but more...
You have to accept that you're wrong.
It's more accurate when you're talking about facts.
Yeah. Like, if you're talking about opinions,
It's cool that we both find it pretty beneficial to be wrong, though. It's neat that we're learning people.
You have to learn from mistakes. Like, you can't just be like, a mistake, oh, I'm gonna just do it again. 22. I will abandon a belief if I discover reliable information that falsifies it. What's your answer on this one?
What's yours?
Strongly agree.
Strongly agree. What's the most recent belief you've abandoned?
The most recent belief that I've abandoned.
Because it's easy to say that, but, money, mouth, put it there.
Well, discovering reliable information that falsifies it. I haven't done that recently. I'm gonna be real.
Okay. When was
Keep
the
it
last time?
$1.50.
What? I said put your money where your mouth is, and you said I'm gonna keep it $1.50.
You never heard that? I'm gonna keep it $1.50.
What the fuck does that mean?
Look it up. Clearly, you didn't listen to the last episode where we talked about silly, wacky online terms. We didn't talk about that one, but maybe we'll revisit it.
Wait, you can't... Fuck you. You can't be like, clearly you didn't listen to the last episode where I thought about something we didn't talk about.
I wasn't thinking about it at that time. I'm gonna keep it $1.50 with you.
I'm gonna beat your ass. What does that mean?
Here, let me show you.
Oh, we're taking a field trip, guys.
Yep.
Improv moment.
Keep it. See, look, I just put in I'm a keep, and it filled in $1.50.
What? Someone give me a definition. No one cares. YouTube. It's a rap song.
No. Urban Dictionary. Keep it $1.50. Keep it real. Usually said when giving a harsh truth to someone.
I'm gonna keep it $1.50 with you. This song sucks.
See?
Okay. Huh.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep it $1.50 with you. I don't remember.
Cool. You know what? At least it's consistent with your answer to number 20.
I'm comfortable with it.
You're comfortable
I'll have to
saying
revisit
you don't know.
it at some point.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Maybe when my memory kicks in, I'll remember.
Fair enough. I only put a soft degree here upon further reflection, because I'm happy abandoning a belief if I find out that it's for sure wrong, but no matter how much research I do into like opposing beliefs, most of them, it's so fun because they like are so distant from what reality is with those beliefs that it's neat to research. It's been a long time since I've actually changed a belief of mine because I was just wrong about it. But, that has happened in the past, and I usually flip-flopped pretty quick, so,
That's fair. 23. The more unusual the statement, the stronger the evidence needs to be.
You can't look at my paper. What
I
the hell,
know,
man?
I couldn't. Your pen's over your answers anyway.
I have been hiding them all this time.
Also, there's no right or wrong answers here.
You can't cheat on me. You're gonna get the right answer if you do that.
To you, maybe.
My truth.
I don't want I don't want your right answers. I want my right answers.
Fair enough. What's your left answer? I mean right answer.
I'm still figuring that out.
Okay, fair enough. It's a strange question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you never thought about this before?
No.
Wow. If you're
I haven't thought about half the questions on this thing.
If you ever hop online and you're like, Tommy's active on Steam right now, but it doesn't say he's playing a game, it would be because I went from playing some game to just doing a bunch of research because, I had a thought like this, and I was like, I need other people. Someone. I'm sure someone's thought about this before.
I'm going to remain neutral on it.
You're going to remain neutral on that? Really?
It's based off of perception. How unusual is something to you? That's going to vary wildly.
Oh, yeah. That's angle I hadn't thought of before, but yeah.
Because everyone like, is there anything that you find unnatural? Just name some things. I might find it natural.
Spelling of words.
Oh, spelling of words?
Yeah, spelling of words. If something has a triple consonant in it, 9 times out of 10 I misspell it. Like GHT or 2 consonants and a Y, it fucks with my brain somehow. I hate triple consonants.
I love doing spelling in general. So
Yeah,
actually,
no,
I wouldn't find that weird.
You are like, I'm gonna do a humble brag.
No, don't.
Trev competed in a spelling bee or two. And I, even though I write books in my free time, can't spell.
He misspells some things. It's whatever. Happens.
I'll have you know I've never once misspelled some or things.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it out there to kind of shut down your brag. When I was in the 5th grade, I misspelled portrait. But it wasn't because I didn't know how to spell it. It was because there were like over 100 people staring at me, and I was like, like 11
in the
or
spelling
something.
bee?
Yeah, like I was on stage. Like I could easily spell it. I know how to spell portrait, and I spelled portrait. I missed the first R because I was like sweating beads on stage.
I like that the first R existed somewhere in your subconscious.
It did. I spelled it out of my mind when they, like said it. Like, your word is portrait, and I was like, okay, portrait.
Okay.
It's easy. And then I just went, po trait.
Okay.
Something like that.
So I think, to get back to the question,
yeah,
I think most people usually answer with a strong agree or a 1 to this.
yes.
And I answer with a strong disagree. And my argument is it doesn't matter because evidence doesn't have a strength. It is a neutral quality. If you have evidence of something, like convincing evidence of something, then it's objectively true. So it doesn't matter how unusual the statement is. If you have objective and like true evidence to it, the statement's probably true. So like if I said the sky is pink, and it's like, well, I mean, yes, that's a very unusual statement. That's a weird statement to say, and I keep bringing up the sky. Maybe I need to go look at it sometime. It's a very weird thing to bring up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever seen a sunset?
I mean, yeah.
Sky's pink. You don't need stronger evidence. Evidence doesn't have a quality. If you have evidence of something, it's probably accurate.
Maybe I was focusing too much on the unusual part because the unusual part is fully based off of perception. Like, it doesn't just have, like, a strict number system it goes by. It doesn't just scale based off of the subject. It scales based off of the person and the subject.
So, like, I hate to keep bringing up God, but this is a great example of religion, right? So, a lot of people would be like, okay, you're saying God exists, he created the universe. It's a unusual statement. You need some really strong evidence for that. I would argue no. You just need evidence for that. The universe existing isn't evidence of God. You need to, like, show me a picture of him. Or, like, go into the fossil record and point to God having made something or done something. Evidence in general proves a statement if you're being in good faith with that statement.
That makes sense. Evidence doesn't scale.
Evidence doesn't scale.
It's not a gaming moment.
There's no power level to evidence. Evidence exists as like a neutral factor,
Not a gaming moment. Last question, number 24. It is possible that some of my beliefs are not true. What's your answer?
I was tempted to write I don't know again.
That would be funny. But...
It would have been really funny. No, I hit it with a 1.
I also hit it with a 1.
Strong agree.
I think this just more so has to do with how well you can grow as a person. If you're willing to believe that, if you're willing to consider the fact that you could be wrong in something, then you're already on the road to improving yourself in terms of learning.
Not exactly. I'm gonna hit you with an ideal again.
Okay.
Not an accuracy, an ideal.
It's not
okay?
with Walter White Cheetos.
Okay. I was gonna say Tibetan monk, but we're both Overwatch players, so instead I'm gonna bring up Zenyatta. For those of you who don't know, Zenyatta's a robotic monk.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
My ball man.
Yes, he's a robotic monk. He floats, he throws balls at people.
I love my ball man.
Okay, so Zenyatta. Let's say, hypothetically, this robotic man, he doesn't believe in anything that's not objectively true. Not even, like, probably true. Not even, like, we have evidence for it. Objectively true.
Yeah.
Maybe that means he doesn't believe in anything. Maybe that believes the only thing he believes is that he's conscious. All right? Back to I think, therefore I am. Maybe that's his only belief.
Last episode.
Maybe his only belief is I think, therefore I am. Then he would answer this question, strong disagree, and probably wouldn't have anywhere to grow as a person because he's already reached some level of philosophical enlightenment.
Right. You're also... That's also assuming Zenyatta doesn't want to learn to grow.
Well, no, that's assuming Zenyatta's grown as much as he can. That's assuming Zenyatta has reached exactly, like, enlightenment. You're enlightened when you know everything or when you know nothing, right?
Yes. So you're saying Zenyatta knows nothing and everything.
Does a submarine swim?
I will not juggle. So yeah, wrapping back around. So essentially you're saying, outside of the whole I think therefore I am consideration, once you go past believing just that and that alone, you start having to take some...
There's a risk factor that you're wrong.
You're taking risk.
Yeah.
Outside of the one question.
I'd agree to that.
In a way, technically, nothing's true other than that statement.
Well, I guess.
Depending on how you perceive it. Zenyatta perceives it that way in this hypothetical.
You've hit me with you've hit me with a real philosophical conundrum, because I'm in a damned if you do situation, right?
Right.
Because obviously I believe a lot of things that aren't I think therefore I am. So you're saying I believe potentially untrue things.
Yes.
To which I would say I answered strongly agree. It's quite possible that a lot of my beliefs aren't true.
Then that's why I put mine the same way, because we could be wrong on everything. Who knows?
Correct. Yeah.
Right? The only thing I know is I think. Therefore, I am.
I am going to ask you about this quiz now. What did you think?
Head mushy. Head mushy. I got like one really, really, really good kind of situation to make out of it, but the rest was just like, I purely need to perceive this through my mind. I can't like put into some funny situation to illustrate. Like outside of that one stupid Cheeto debate thing. It was just taking these questions head on and doing my best to
I don't know. I think about stuff like this all the time. I love it. It says on Facebook, my profession is philosopher.
Shut the fuck up. No, it does not. I haven't checked your Facebook.
It does.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you to death.
It's been that since high school.
This isn't a hypothetical. I am going to kill you to death.
No, please don't.
By the way, YouTube and Spotify, this is a joke. I am going to kill him to death in Minecraft in GTA with my character.
Wait, you're playing Minecraft with your GTA character, and you're gonna kill my GTA character playing Minecraft.
To death. Kill him to death.
I see.
This is
what
epic.
A gamer moment.
Now, with the website we have here, it does it have any way to does it give you an answer based off of your answers?
Go ahead and
judge you.
Go ahead and click and agree or disagree.
Okay. Should we just put down our own answers and maybe see if we get a result?
Just click one. You'll see how it works. So then go through and answer all of them.
Oh well. Okay.
Just those 5, right?
Right. Okay. I'm using my little cheat sheet here, which is mine.
It doesn't matter what answers you hit. Just answer.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah. Just answer all of them. All right. Stop. Just those first 6. So if we were in a lobby with people, once you answer those 6, it shows you what everyone in that lobby's answers are. So like what your ratio is for that belief.
You get ratioed.
You are the ratio.
I guess so. This isn't a BuzzFeed quiz, thank God.
There's us.
You don't get you are a Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, there's
you're a dog person for thinking that Hitler wasn't real.
Please stop. First off, that's not a thing that makes you a dog person.
How much mayo do you put in your salad bowl? Based off of your mayo to salad percentage, you hate minorities.
Please stop putting mayo in salad.
For all you homies that put more mayo than salad.
Please stop putting mayo in salad. You could put ranch in salad, that's fine. Please don't put mayo in salad.
Well, considering we don't have a results area, I guess what did you think?
I really like this thing. The more you get into epistemology or philosophy in general, the more fun things like this will be.
Yeah, that's fair. I should give it more thought.
I saw this and I was like, this is really cool. This is so much fun, which is part of why I wanted to bring it up on the podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. This is pretty cool. I don't know why some guy would name the whole study of it about piss, but all right.
No, it's named after Epstein.
Oh yeah, forgot. Whoops. Well, do we have anything to discuss, or do we want to close it out on the Epstein quiz?
I guess we usually bring up a couple miscellaneous topics. You want to...
How much time do we have left? Let's see. Let's give it a quick check, Roofski. Okay.
So any miscellaneous topics you'd like to talk about as we wrap things up?
Not exactly. I don't have anything off the top of my head.
I've got one I'd like to throw out. Maybe you'll think of something while I'm shooting for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I lost a lot of respect for the host of the podcast, and I don't know how to reconcile that.
Would you like to disclose that podcast?
No, but I'll disclose why I lost so much respect for the host. He mains Diva. Diva's an Overwatch character who's obnoxious, and he mains her. The podcast isn't about video games. I've just judged him so hard for his choice of main, and it's bad because I can't listen to him with a straight face anymore. I'm like, this bitch mains a character I really don't like.
I wouldn't find that reasonable, but okay.
I get that it's a really shallow reason to...
It is.
Diva's not even the worst character to main.
Yeah, you could be a Roadhog main. It's okay. I'm sure with this new season and with Roadhog getting nerfed, I think my hours with him is going to go down, majorly.
I mean, fair enough. I didn't want to turn this into a conversation about Overwatch.
It happened to be.
Oh, man.
Maybe
I should give him...
You did reference the fact that you stopped listening to this podcast because he was playing an Overwatch character you didn't like. And then you say, I really hope I didn't turn this into an Overwatch thing.
I mean, I wanted to talk objectively about, what it says about me or him as a person.
Shallow.
Not shallow.
In this one specific instance, you're more shallow than a kiddie pool.
Oh, damn.
But it's okay, I get it. I would probably do the same. I'm as shallow as a kiddie pool sometimes.
I might listen to the podcast still. I don't know. I had a hard time reconciling that. I was like, oh, wow.
At the end of the day, I wouldn't really care. It is what it is.
You got anything you want to bring up?
Yeah, this week at the gym sucked. It did. If anyone's going to the gym out there, don't skip days. We skipped a couple of pull days through a couple weeks because we had a D&D session. I lost 10 pounds off my bench, and I missed 2-3 pull days?
Yeah.
And that wasn't even the day associated with bench.
Yeah.
It's surprising how quickly those missed days catch up to you. If you're already skipping, don't skip. Get back on track.
Well, I mean, that's a much more wholesome topic than mine.
I guess. That's the one thing that came to mind.
If it makes you feel any better, this week at the gym did not suck for me.
That's good. Strive to improve. I didn't this week. My bench sucked.
I mean, there's better ways to measure how you're improving.
I guess.
If it makes you feel any better, you're definitely beating me in the sleep department.
I guess I did miss out on sleep that one day I did bench. So that would make sense why my bench dropped by 10 pounds.
All right, anything else we need to add to this particular episode?
I think, at least for me, no. What about you?
No,
got anything else?
Let us know in the comments if you want us to do more episodes like this.
Yeah, thank you for joining us for the Epstein quiz.
I'm constipated.
And I'm Men. This has been the Complimentary Mania podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.